everyone and welcome to my booktube channel. My name is Sarah and today I'm going to be showing you all of the books that I read in the month of May. So far in 2016 I have only been reading a steady 7 books every single month, but this month I managed to surpass that by a single book, but nonetheless I did read 8 books and so that feels like an accomplishment. Now a lot of these books I either read on my phone or got from the library, so I don't have the physical copies of a lot of them, but let's get started. The first book that I read in the month of May was Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick. This is a very dark story following a young boy in high school who is being bullied and goes into school one day with the plan of killing not only someone he knows, but also himself. It was a very hard book for me to read. It was definitely very rough, very emotional. I loved the writing style. This book definitely took a few turns that I was not expecting. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read this month was The Sleeper and the Spindle by Neil Gaiman and I don't remember the name of the illustrator, but some wonderful illustrator or other. I did not love it, I'll be honest. I thought the illustrations were lovely and very entrancing, and I love Neil Gaiman's storytelling. However, he doesn't give us the names of any characters, and so that makes you feel very disconnected from them. And also, it's a very basic fairy tale. There's really not much happening. If you're a fan of Neil Gaiman and his writing, I would suggest you pick it up. It's a very quick read. It's more of a graphic novel, I would say. So I gave that one 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was Kissing in America by Margot Robb, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. She is a very lovely author who I heard speak at a panel a few months ago, and I had been interested in picking up her book, so when it was on sale on Kindle, I picked that up and I was pleasantly surprised. I don't read a lot of like contemporary romances because I feel like it's just not my thing, but I did really enjoy this one. It was very cute. This book follows a young girl who falls in love with this guy who is then forced to move away to California, which is across the country from where she lives in New York. But she is too poor to afford a plane ticket to go visit him, and so in order to go see him, she and her best friend enter in a game show competition type thing called The Smartest Girl in America, and when they get picked to go into this competition, they road trip across America. I also gave that one 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read this month was The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. This book takes place in the 1970s in Alaska, following 4 different young people coming of age and falling in love. The stories are all interconnected, and I just love getting to see them all come together. I thought it was really touching and very emotional, and I gave that one 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay, I'm very excited about this next one.
The next book that I read this month was Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Quick little backstory. I am semi-obsessed with the 2005 movie version with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden. I love that movie so much and it brings me so many feelings. So my expectations for this book were very, very high, and I had tried to read this book before and got like 20 pages into it, but I just didn't really like it. I feel like for stories like this, you really have to be in the mood to read it, and I just wasn't at the time. But this month I picked it up on my Kindle because it's always free, most of the classics are. I absolutely loved it. So of course I gave that book 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read in the month of May was After the Woods by Kim Savage. This book follows a young girl by the name of Julia who was kidnapped nearly a year ago for the span of 2 days before she managed to escape. Because they are nearing the 1-year anniversary, the media has started recirculating her story, and a lot of new things have come up, including memories that had so far been repressed, and she begins to question what really happened. This book was, of course, as you can tell from the synopsis, really hard to read and very disturbing. However, I did really love the author's writing style, and I thought it was a good, solid story. I had predicted one of the things, but there were still some twists and turns in this book that I was not expecting, and I also think this is a debut book, so I'm very impressed by her first work. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read in the month of May I have been waiting on for quite a while, and that is The Crown by Kiera Cass. I have mixed feelings about the Selection series in general, but I love Kiera Cass, and her writing style is always very easy to read and very fluffy, and this was no different. I don't want to talk too in depth about this book because I do plan on doing a full spoiler review very soon, but I thought it was a good conclusion to the series. It was predictable but cute, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read in the month of May was also very exciting, and that is City of Glass by Cassandra Sandra Clare. This is book 3 in the Immortal Instruments series. I have slowly but surely been making my way through this series in 2016, and I'm so glad that I'm continuing on with it. City of Ashes was excellent, and City of Glass was even better. I'm not sure. They're sort of tied in my head right now, but I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The Clary and Jace angst and drama is making me roll my eyes a little bit, but I still really love all of these characters and the storyline, and Simon Lewis is my baby, and I love him a lot. So I managed to read 8 books in the month of May, and I'm pretty proud of it. I have even bigger and better things planned for June. I'm actually going to be doing my first buddy read, which is really fun. I actually already have a TBR video up, so if you're interested in watching that, I will link it down below, of course. So that is it for my May wrap-up. You guys should let me know down below some of the books that you read in the month of May and what you thought of them. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. I post new videos twice a week. If you guys would like to follow me on Twitter or any of my social medias, I will leave the links to all of those in the description box below as always. But most of all, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!